Alright, chat. Today I'm going to show you guys how to build a 1v1 map in Fortnite Creative. So first thing, you got to choose an island. Really, it doesn't matter which one you do it on. I'm just going to do it on the grid island because it's easy, it's flat. You can make your title whatever you want it to be. And even if you're going to publish later, this isn't the title that will be published. First, let's set up settings. For structure, you're going to want it to be 2 players because there's only 2 of you on there. And I mean, you can change that if you want more people in there, but, you know. You can basically leave these all the same as they are. Matchmaking can stay the same. Teams can stay the same. Classes the same. All this is really just preference. For spawning, you're going to want infinite spawns. Join in progress, I'm just going to put this spawn for when people load in and start the game before the other guy loads in. So it won't screw them there, but really you don't need to do that. For respawn time, you're going to want it 1 second. You don't really want a respawn time, I feel like. But again, that's just preference. Elims, you're going to make sure you want to do keep on players' items so they keep their guns when they die. And you want 200 siphon so that it resets the winner's health every time. A lot of people forget the 200 siphon. Make sure you put in that. Health granted on elim, 200. That's all for elims. For scoring, we'll do elim is 1 point. That's all you really need. Text chat, voice chat, that's kind of your own thing if you want it or not. End condition, last man standing, you want that off. Otherwise it's going to end. Just keep that off. Round settings, you want to put this unlimited. You don't want a timer on there. No timer. And that's all you really have to do in here. Player, controls, locomotion. You might want to look through here and put it to your preference. I like to have my fall damage off in the 1v, off in the 1v1. I got confused a minute there. I was like, wait, is that supposed to be on in 1v1s? No, off in the 1v1. Gravity to normal. I like to try to match it to whatever BR is going on, but really it's your choice. Shoulder bashing, I turn that off. Glider redeploy off. The rest of this I'd probably keep on. Oh, that's right. Roll landing and wall kick, turn that off. Health. Starting health, 100%. Starting shield, 100%. Pickups. All these you can leave the same. Alright, but when you get to equipment, down at the bottom here, on environment damage, you're going to want to put that to player built only. So that way, if you don't use indestructible ramps or something, they won't get destroyed on your bomb reset. So, alright, there's a few things that I forgot to mention that we should touch base on first. You're going to want player spawners. Wherever you want to put them, 2 player spawners. So that your people aren't just falling in from the sky like that. Another thing I skipped past and forgot to mention is in the player settings, in your inventory, you're going to want infinite builds. And that's going to be right here. Infinite builds. First thing to do when you start building is get your ramps. You can look at the indestructible gallery, and that way you wouldn't need to do the setting I just did if you used like these ramps, because these ones won't break anyway. But we have it set so these wouldn't break. Anything in the environment won't break, only player built items. So if you wanted to use like some ramps or stairs or even your own builds in here, you could just set it up like that as well, and they won't break during the game. Alright, you got your ramps here. Next thing you're going to need an explosive device. You don't have to type the whole words. It'll pop up if you just type the first couple. Alright, for these, it's not too hard. Just take your bomb, drop it. You don't really have to be right here. You could do it up here, wherever, as long as you make it big enough where it's going to destroy the builds. So you don't want that damaged. You want the blast radius high as it'll go. 0 player damage. You don't want it to hurt people. Oh yeah, and I want to put this on a button, not a timer. I'll have to go grab that button. Structure damage, we want this to the max. Let's just say 5k. Not explode on proximity. That will be no good. I like to have the audios and visuals all off especially visible during game, you need that off. Collision during game off, health bar off, audio off. Time until reset allowed. 0.1 second. Okay. And I know I grabbed the time. Alright, I got my button. This is going to be to reset your builds. So you want it just kind of right here outside. Oh, drops are on. Right outside where you're going to be 1v1ing. Interaction time, it's not necessary, but I like to have a little bit of an interaction time so you don't like accidentally hit it or whatever. All those settings are preference. On interact, we want to send the explosive device. The function will be explode. We also have to set the same thing, explosive device, to reset. So it'll explode it and it will reset it. Once you put the settings in one device, it carries it onto the other for you. Alright, for your explosive device settings, just copy exactly what I got here. Can't be damaged. Blast numbers off. Blast radius 10. Player damage 0. You want structure damage all the way up, 5,000. Cannot damage indestructible buildings. Knockback, you want to put that to none. No knockback. No audio, VFX, no visualization. Not visible during game. No collision during game. No health bar, no audio. And that's all you got to do for that. And then for the settings, or the functions, you want it to explode on interacting with the button. And you want it to reset on interacting with the button. Here, it can be wherever. It's linked to that explosive device now. So, already you have a functioning 1v1. If you want to do it the old-fashioned way where you set it up like this and, you know, run your ones, you have it, it works. But if you want to get a little fancy with it, we can get a little bit fancy. Right here. And for the player counter, we're going to set that right in the middle of the barrier. Okay, with the settings, we're going to do target players is 2. If you need to pause and look through these, you can pause. Well, there will be no spectators because this is a 1v1. Info panel visible, I'm going to put that to off. Use zone on. Zone shape, we're going to say cylinder. Time in zone to count, 2 seconds. Zone visible during game, no. You don't want this to be quite as big as a whole tile. You want it to be a little smaller. We're going to go 0.3. Why does it keep doing that to me? 0.3. We'll keep the height. Alright. We gotta make that a little bigger. Zone width. We're gonna put the width to almost the whole tile. Oh, no, I just got it sideways. There we go. That's what I was looking for. See how it's pretty much this whole side now? So basically how that is going to work is when both players are like running up against the barrier, they're in this zone, that's what's going to drop the barrier down. So we have to connect the barrier device to the player counter. So on count succeeds. On count succeeds, we're going to send an event to the barrier device to disable. And then on count fails, we're going to send a signal to the barrier device to enable. Now, when 2 people are in this zone, the barrier will drop, the 1v1 will start, and then when they leave the zone, the wall will come back. That's basically how that works. Now I'll get another person in here to show the example in just a minute. The last thing, other than this, that maybe you don't know and need to know is how to do your weapons. Really simple. There's a few different ways you can do it as well. One simple, easy way to do it is just the item spawner. You just place this wherever you'd like. And then, very simple. Oh, I gotta clear my search bar. Pick whatever weapon you'd like for the 1v1s. Most times it's going to be an AR shotgun. But we'll just grab this bow for the example. Now that you have that in your inventory, you just drop it like you would in game right into the device. And now that will be there. Most times you'd use a shotgun, an AR, whatever. Whatever style 1v1 you want. However you're going to build it, you can customize it. I'm mostly here to show you how the settings work. So now you got your barrier device and your player counter that will start your game off. And you got your build reset button and your explosive device. And the map is basically ready to go. Setting wise, everything else you can kind of customize to how you want. You can use different ramps, different everything, different guns. But this is now a functioning 1v1 map. Let me get another person in here and we can test it out, make sure it works. on the Switch too, so bear with me. I just want to show that the barrier works and the map works. So here we are on the player spawners. Oh. On this device, it comes preset with a 10-second wait time on the spawns. If you were going to use these devices, I'd say turn that down to no wait time. Alright. Actually, let me get the other... Let me get this one on first. Alright, I got the test account in place against the barrier. See? Now when I join them on the barrier, it'll drop, and our 1v1 will start. I hope they're auto running into nowhere land. I'm like, where the heck did they just go? Just auto running over there. Now she should spawn right back here. There they are. Reset the builds. Builds are reset. Now we can do it again. You can go through and adjust all these settings as needed. You know, change the timing on stuff, make that barrier drop faster, take longer to drop, whatever you want. It's all very customizable. But this video should be enough to like show you how you set it up and how everything works and whatnot. If you guys have any questions, just let me know in the comments. I will try to help you out with whatever. Alright. Later, chat.